Hey, I'm not sure why I'm doing this and if anybody needs that, but here I am telling my experience attending free Portuguese classes, which are called PLA and organized by Portuguese government. So basically, what are these courses? That's free courses for immigrants. They are separated into different levels. They start from A1 to A2 level, and after finishing this stage, you will get certificate, which will be enough to apply for Portuguese citizenship. And I believe that that's the biggest reason why people attend this course. Unfortunately, not the knowledge itself, but the certificate. Then you can also attend B1, B2 course, and the legend says there is C1, C2, but not an expert here. The course is pretty intense. In my case, I study 3 times per week. Each lesson lasts 2 hours, so that's like 6 hours per week. And even though it's that much for Portuguese, we will finish approximately in May, starting in October. So it almost takes whole academic year. I know that there are some courses that go faster. For example, a friend of mine attended a course almost every day. It's like 5 days, and it was 5 days per week and 3 hours. Each lesson was 3 hours long. But that's like extreme. Most of the courses do it like for 2 or 3 times per week. Yeah, and basically you cover two levels, A1 and A2. Now, the next logical thing would be to tell you how to take part in this course, how to enroll. But here it's a typical example, like the best example of Portuguese random, because from school to school, from organization to organization, it varies a lot. In some places, you just go there. Better to go, not to call, not to email, because you will never get a reply. Better to go straight into the office and ask somebody in charge how you can take part in the course. Sometimes it's just fill out the form and wait for a couple of weeks and done. You can attend. In my case, it was a little bit more complicated, but the school is really close to my house, so I was really motivated to go there, not in any other place. So I had to wait for a year. I could have done it faster, but yeah, that was my choice to wait. And I had to go through the procedures, I had to register on this Passaporta Qualifica website. Anyway, it was a little bit more complicated. And my point is that here in the link below you can find some official information about these courses, and what I would recommend is check the place that you believe is the most convenient for you to commute to, go there and ask them how to take part, because it will vary. Now, on a side note, I should mention that not only this course is free, but again, City Legend says that you can also get some money from the government, because usually it takes time in working hours, and that means that you are taking some time off your work, and therefore government is willing to compensate you this extra, like this hours of you not working, and it may be like something like 100 200 euros per month. I'm not sure myself. I just know a person who knows a person who knows a person who got this benefit. I will check myself if I'm eligible for this compensation, and will let you know if there is a video update in time coming out. Okay, so sounds very good, right? It's free. You can also get some money. What's the trick? The trick is you can't really skip the classes. The rules are pretty strict. Like in our case, we could skip only 15 hours of the classes. Like I didn't count how many hours we will actually attend, but it's like 6 hours per week. Yeah, so you can calculate if we study from October to May. So not a lot of classes can be missed, and in case you miss them, you just get out of the course and you will have to start the process all over again. Also, there are some tests during the course, which again, if you fail them, I believe you do have a right to redo them, but if you don't succeed, again, start all over again. That's the official information, and of course how strictly your tutor and the administrators will be following those rules really depend on the place, how lucky you are, how motivated and responsible these people are, and so on and so forth. Now, about the course itself and why I personally decided to take it. Well, I'm pretty good at languages, I would say, and I also have a background in education. So it makes me very lazy and very picky at the same time. And unfortunately, any of the places that I tried to attend, language schools, some private teachers, some online courses, didn't meet up to my expectations. And I was not willing to pay quite a lot of money because these courses are quite pricey for not the best quality, I would say. Not calling names, but it's just my experience. I know a lot of people who are pretty satisfied with their tutors. It's just personally about me. And because I'm lazy, I wasn't progressing that fast. Of course, I was doing some Duolingo and some other online courses which helped me to get this like solid A2 level, and I can understand content of like B1, B2 level. However, it's still not enough. I feel that it's still not enough for me. I cannot communicate freely. I don't feel that I'm fully integrated into the society, and it's just like to show the respect, right? I live in the country, I plan to continue living in it. I want to know the language and the culture. So I decided, okay, if the quality is not the best, if the quality doesn't meet my expectations and I'm not willing to pay for something that doesn't meet my expectations, is there a free option? And that's how I found these courses, by the way. I've been attending for a month already, and honestly, I can say that the level of teaching is even a little bit better than at some places that I went and where I were supposed to pay for these classes. So I'm honestly pretty satisfied with that. The only minus is that, like for me again, is that I'm not a complete beginner, and you cannot start this course somewhere in the middle, right? Because it's like A1, A2 course. You can start either from the very beginning or not start at all. And as I've mentioned earlier, if you skip more than 15 hours, you will be dropped out. So I can't just ignore the first part, the part that I know, right? And then just come back when they start learning A2 stuff and do only half of the course. No, it's not an option. That's why I have to attend from the very beginning. And at the moment, I would say that most of the things that we are learning, I already know. That's why it can be a little bit boring for me. Taking all this into account, I would say that the quality of the course even exceeds my expectations at the moment. Probably my advice would be to look for these smaller schools like mine, right? They start the groups only once a year, so they don't have this constant flow of new students coming and going, and maybe they can focus on the quality a little bit more. That's my suggestion, but it sounds plausible. So yeah, maybe that's what I can recommend you. And usually in smaller cities, because I live in Lisbon, in smaller cities the tendency again just to a slower pace of life, maybe better attention to details. Again, maybe you will be lucky to have a good experience as I'm having at the moment. So I believe it's not a standard, but we are using this student's book. It looks like this, Portuguese 21. It has several levels. We are obviously doing the first one, A1. It's a big book. We've just started Unit 1. Again, if there ever an update video, I will share my impression of this book, maybe in more detail. But for now, it looks like a typical book using communicative approach. There are lots of speaking and listening and reading exercises. Maybe I would prefer a little bit more context, because even like yesterday I was doing an exercise and I literally didn't know where I should take this information from. It wasn't mentioned in the book, it wasn't mentioned during our lessons, so I had to Google it, and that's either I didn't get something right, or the book didn't provide me with the source where I could check myself. By the way, that's the building in the Parque das Nações district where I live nearby. So it's also cool to see something you see almost every day on the cover of the student's book. Never experienced that before. So that's pretty much it. For me, the biggest benefit is that it's free. I get the certificate after it, and I'm satisfied with the quality. I doubt I would get something much more efficient than that, even paying a lot of money. Maybe when I am a C2 or C1 Portuguese speaker, I will start my own school or course and will revolutionize that business here. But that's very far-fetched. So yeah, at the moment I'm just trying to find the best I can and learn a little bit of Portuguese. Okay, hopefully it was useful. It's like the first video on this channel. Not sure if I will continue. Not sure why I'm doing it, to be honest. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, good luck with learning Portuguese.